What's interesting is we haven't even started the cycle, right? The tech cycle that is blockchain technology and what I call the truth net starts in 2024. So there's been this long cycle of technological innovation from the mainframe in 54 to the microchip in 68 to the personal computer in 82 to the internet in 96 to the mobile net in 2010. So 2024 hadn't even started yet. So we're going to have a unbelievable period over the 4 years from 24 to 28 of innovation, of wealth creation. And just for perspective, Web 1, right, Cisco, Microsoft, et cetera, created 2 trillion of value. It's a big number, right?
Pretty good.
We throw trillion around and no one shudders anymore because the government uses that number. And a trillion, right, we'd have to sit here together for 31,710 years.
So you're saying Cisco created...
You guys are fun, but that's a long time, 31,710 years, and spend $1 every second. That's 1 trillion. So Web 1 created 2 trillion. Web 2 created 5 trillion, right? Exponential growth. Web 3, spatial web, I think it's 15 trillion.
In this video, Mark Yusko explains the dynamics of the Bitcoin and technology cycles and the beauty behind the Bitcoin halving. He puts in perspective the Bitcoin fair value with miner revenues and how all this changes with the halving of the Bitcoin rewards every 4 years. Plus, this year there will be ETFs entering this game. If you like what you are watching, please just give us a thumbs up. Let's get to the video.
BlackRock decided that this was lucrative, right? For years, 2017, 18, 19, 20, Larry Fink was out there. This is an index of money laundering.
Yeah, money laundering.
Right? This is he same talking points. And then he comes on TV and says, you should really own some of this to protect yourselves against currency devaluation. I mean, literally, my mind was blown that he said this. I'm like, well, yes, that's truth. And you're speaking truth, and truth is an absolute defense. But the fact that he said that was blew me away. But then he came on and said, people are afraid. And they're seeking safe havens like gold and treasuries and Bitcoin. What? So, and as Bitcoin goes, the rest of that digital asset ecosystem follows. It's like I was a wrestler in high school, and my coach had this great line: where the head goes, the body follows. Yep. You want the person to go a certain way on the mat, just push their head that way, the rest of their body will go. And the head is going to get followed. And look, I'm super bullish about this cycle because you got the normal halving cycle.
Yep.
Which the halving is one of the most ingenious code, I guess one of the most ingenious applications of code, that's the word I'm searching for, that I've really ever seen. Yep. Because if you think about it, what does it do? Well, it ensures movement. Why is that important? Well, movement draws activity, draws interest. If something doesn't move, people don't care. Right. And especially guys, right? We have the hunter-gatherer genetic back to cavemen days. And if it ain't moving, I can't see it. Like my wife says, go get the ketchup. I open the fridge, there's no ketchup. She walks up, grabs the ketchup bottle. If it ain't moving, I can't see it. And like if someone were to walk by, I'd move. That's what we do. We're hunter.
You got to move the ketchup, Mark. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The ketchup's got to move, or I can't see it. But the thing is, if you think about why is there a cycle? Greed and fear. So we had greed. So we had greed during the last cycle because you had the money coming in GBTC. So it went from 10 to 60, like almost overnight.
And I want to talk about Barry Silbert, and I want to talk about DCG, but please continue. Yeah.
Yeah. But we went from 10 to 60, but the fair value of the network, Metcalfe's law model, was only 30. So greed took us to 60. So actually all the way to 69 in the second, pump. Anything can happen. Don't get me wrong. I mean, anything can happen, but why, right? So what's happening now is the normal accretion of price back to fair value. Yep. So fair value today Okay. Tim Peterson has this great Metcalfe's law model. Everyone can see it. And, it's like 51, 52,000 for Bitcoin. Yep. And we're in the 40s. So that's still below fair value. Well, we went, Hurricane Sam happened and it pushed all the way down to 16.5. It was ugly. People said it was going to zero, not going to zero. And that was ugly. And then we started this amazing accumulation, right? Because what happens when you're that far below fair value, if fair value is 50 and the price is 15, you're going to buy it. And who's going to buy it? People like me, investors. Investors are going to start accumulating. And an accumulation pattern is one where we have higher highs and higher lows. And it's been this beautiful accumulation pattern. Doesn't mean there won't be FUD. Doesn't mean there won't be the Binance attack. Doesn't mean, there'll be things that cause sell-offs. But in each case, there was just this beautiful accumulation. So we're starting to get toward fair value at 50K. Well, then the halving comes. The halving doubles fair value because this is the part of the code that's just amazing. If the price doesn't move, then half the miners go out of business. That can't happen. So the price adjusts upwards, which causes more people to come into the game. Now, in crypto fall, which will start next June. So we're in crypto summer right now. So from last June to this June, to next June, that's crypto summer. Then we start crypto fall. Crypto fall is the crazy parabolic leverage, stupidity, dumb, way above fair value. How high we go this time, I don't know. If fair value is 100, sometime mid next year, could we get to 150? In theory, if you look at the last two cycles, we'd get to 250, But the problem is there's not as much leverage this time. So the leverage is what allows you to get way above fair value. Without the leverage, it's harder. But we do have something new, which is the ETF. When the ETF is approved, and again, I called the day, January 8th. When that happens, some number, 30 billion is my estimate in the first short period. That's 0.1%. That's 10 basis points of the 30 trillion that's available. That 30 billion on an asset that trades 8 billion a day will push the price up meaningfully. So this is the buy the rumor, buy the news. Now, people say, but it's already in the price. Nope, it's not in the price. So, nope. Second thing, you could have people who sell the news because they think BlackRock is the one doing the front running and then they're just going to sell to themselves. It's possible. Probably not for a lot, but it's certainly possible for some. But what's most likely is I'm light on that 10 basis points. No one's going to say, just give me 10 basis points. They're going to give me 1%. And that 1% is 300 billion. Now, 300 billion isn't going to go in all at one day. Now, you asked about Barry Silbert. The one thing that I'll caveat is if, and that's capital I, capital F, GBTC doesn't get approved to convert, all that money leaves to go into BlackRock. That's the only wiggle. But at the end of the day, $300 billion is coming. Some of it's going into Bitcoin. Some of it's going to, find its way down to other stuff. Now, that's great for short-term fun. But at the end of the day, we still need to build. And we still need the tech to work. And we still need all of the integration and the additional use cases for other businesses besides trading, right? Blockchain will do to financial services what the internet did to media and commerce. Full stop. Yeah. But blockchain will also revolutionize every other industry from healthcare to voting to logistics to anything you can imagine. And so that has to keep happening, and it will. I said, we're just starting this path in 2024.
Our take, Mark Yusko points out a great 2024 and in part 2025 for Bitcoin. The liquidity cycle in the Bitcoin halving will put pressure on the price, while the supply of new Bitcoins will be cut in half. The Bitcoin hodlers will keep dollar cost averaging into this asset, and might only sell a part of their stack during this period. Also, this time there will be a new player, with a lot of buying power. Institutions will enter the game, thanks to the Bitcoin spot ETFs. While this is all positive news for the short term, we will see sell-offs during the bull market and, if history repeats, we will get to a blow-off top. It will be important to remember the lessons learned during the previous cycle. There will be bad actors just looking to get your Bitcoin. You will be tempted to FOMO in and use leverage, while most likely, the best decision would be to still DCA into Bitcoin and put everything in cold storage. As always, do your own research. Don't trust, verify.